Welcome, Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis here, along McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas. Let me look at the camera, not my screen. So,
really hard. Really hard.
It's hard. I'm used to it being right up here.
Yeah.
So welcome everybody in. Thank you. Don't forget, we are recording this as a podcast, so we're going to upload this after it's done to your favorite podcasting channels. Of course, if you're watching the video, you can see all the different formats and places you can find those there. So find your favorite one. Just search for FordVideoGuy and you can find it if you want to listen to it later. If you are listening to the podcast, then come on over. Join us on Tuesday nights over here and join us live and answer your questions live for us, and we can answer those. And of course, don't forget to, anytime if you have any questions, they're right below. You can see actually who they go to based on how it is in here. So if you're looking for more sales related, throw those over to me, timothybarts@gmail.com, or if you're wanting just some questions about different things, Sarah can answer 99% of the questions. Just send those over to FordVideoGuy@gmail.com, and she can, take care of those and get those responded a little quicker than I can. So that's the kind of the benefit of doing that. Now, also don't forget, if you're, of course, you're not, haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't forget to do that. All that fun stuff. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I appreciate if you smash that like button. It really helps out the algorithm and everything, and helps out our videos. So please do that if you can.
And if you want to support us, you can join the membership.
Yep.
So our membership is right there next to the subscribe button. So once you hit that, it will take you to a page where it talks about all the benefits to being a member, and then you can join there. It is $5 a month, $4.99, I believe.
Yep.
If you have an iPhone, it's a little bit weird. You have to go to your web browser, and then there's a little A and a big A up there next to the YouTube link. Once the mouse gets there on the video for you, and you're going to request to switch to a desktop version, and then you'll see the join button.
Yep. So it's a little bit more difficult there on iOS device there, but There you go. And of course, don't forget to find the membership content and such. You should get emailed that information, but if you don't, go to the membership tab on our channel, and you can get all the content there for all the different things we do. So really enjoy some of the videos that we do for our members there, and I think you guys will hopefully like it too as well. So don't forget about our merch site. Link is in the description. Also, you can see it down under each of our videos. Speaking of that, our videos, I've been a little under the weather lately. If you guys were on the Facebook Live with me on Thursday night, that's when it started. So I was starting to cough here and there, and I thought it was just a tickle in my throat or something.
Yeah.
Nope, that's when it started. Was right around 5 o'clock Thursday. That's when I starting to feel sick, and so I was coughing, and then it kind of went from there. So I took Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, and was on live last night, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But so because of that, we don't have any video content that we really released last week. And right now, nothing really in the work yet. I'll try to get some recorded tomorrow and get those live. We still need to finish out our F-150 videos, so we'll have those go live, and I think I have those in the description for you there. But and then we will be doing a Facebook Live this Thursday, so we'll be doing that. I didn't put the link in the description, but I will when we get done here. I forgot to set that up. And then don't forget about the channels that we support down in the description as well. Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. That's right. And we do have All Train Nation down there as well. And had a lot of fun last night on All Train Nation. So
I haven't watched the full video yet.
we had some fun discussion, and it was fun being on there and chatting and answering questions, and so it was a blast. So I like their channel, and it's their lives on Monday nights are real fun. So if you have a chance, check the video out. Of course, you can always see any live videos after they're done. So go over their channel, check it out. Don't forget to smash the like button on their video as well and everything, and help that out. So so it's a lot of fun.
Scott Gabrielson, the 1% I can't answer is usually on Super Duty. I'm still learning some of the other trim levels and models of Ford. I'm best with Maverick and F-150 questions, but if I don't know the answer, it's a learning opportunity, and I get to ask him, and so then I know for the future.
But we do have one on there. It says hi on dealer a window sticker. How long before a Super Duty is built and shipped? Well, it really goes off of the build date more than it is that
Yes.
window sticker. So the window sticker usually is available when that order is sent to the plant, not necessarily when it goes into production. So the window stickers could be a little misleading. So the production date, the date that it's supposed to be built, that's kind of what you want to kind of be looking off of, and figuring that and you should get an email that it's been shipped out and it's been released from the plant and it's on its way. And then usually it's 4 weeks after you get that notification that's already been built. So something else I want to kind of mention. I don't think I told you this, but K-State won the Big 12 championship in football.
Okay.
Right? Remember that?
Somewhat.
We're not huge K-State fans. Well, they actually are doing a Big 12 championship tour with the trophy and everything. And Willie the Wildcat, they're actually going to come by McArthur on...
Oh, we get Willie here
Willie's
this time?
here, yeah.
Okay.
So December 19th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., not 10 p.m., 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on December 19th, which is that a morning? Is that a Monday?
The 19th?
19th?
Yes.
It's a Monday.
That's Monday.
So it's a Monday morning. So yeah, if you want to take off work and drive to Salina, Kansas, you can do that. Well, you know what? We'll try to have some fun. For our members, we'll try to get some member video and stuff.
Yeah.
Content like that. That's kind of what we like to do with our member videos, is to give you some of the behind the scenes things of some of the events going on, that kind of stuff. So we'll try to have that going and have that might be kind of fun as well. And who knows, I don't know, there might be some other players here. I don't know if Adrian Martinez is going to be here that we've been sponsoring or not.
Most likely he is.
So we'll see. But anyway, that'll be a blast. But all right, you want to kind of tell people about the good dealer moment? And it says that I have a picture there, but I don't have a picture.
I forgot to send you the picture.
Oops.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go ahead and read it off anyway.
After 14 months, I finally received my 22 Maverick Hybrid XLT Lux. Thank you for all of your weeks of guidance during those months. I would like you to include my dealer in your highlights section. I purchased my MAV from Tipton Ford in Tipton, Indiana. Ron, my salesperson, helped me with my order on August 18th, 2021. As the months passed, he was there to reassure me Ford would come through. He kept me aware of my priority code progress, and finally at the end of October this year, he called me to let me know it was in. Tipton Ford sold it to me for my price-protected MSRP. They also installed my Ford accessories, roll-up tonneau cover, window shades, mud flaps, tailgate assist strut, and stubby antenna. I added the Shelby GT Tribute graphic package, as you can see in the pictures. Thanks again for your insights each week on the Maverick. I'm extremely happy with my purchase. Floyd.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, if you have that, maybe we can get the picture in a little bit later. But anyway,
Yeah.
So there you go. So moving on, we have you can actually see our agenda over there to the right, to my left, right of your screen. Right.
Right there. Right there.
Thank you.
He always misses it.
Yeah. I always go this way. Oh, wait. Wrong way. All right. So scheduling notes and information for this week. I have everything back behind me. Wasn't prepared. There we go. So when we talk about scheduling, for those that are fairly new, what we're talking about is that if you have an order in, that order has to get scheduled for production date in the future. So each week on Thursdays, each model sometimes will schedule, some of them won't schedule every week. And so we're going to go over which models this week are scheduling for production dates and what production dates they're looking to be scheduling for. So that way, if you have an order in for one of these models, then you'll know, hey, maybe I need to be looking at my email this week. So first starting with the 23 Mustang, they will be scheduling for February. So they're going to be doing that. Of course, order banks are closed now for 23 Mustang. And then the 23 Escape is scheduling this week as well. They're scheduling through February 20th. So we are looking to schedule for January and February in several of these months. So now we're moving into February production dates for several of the different models, by the way. On the Escape, they are not scheduling for plug-in hybrid. So keep that in mind. 23 Bronco Sport, they do plan to do some cleanup scheduling. So it looks like for probably January dates. The Edge is not scheduling this week. Their plant is full through January. 23 Bronco is scheduling through the weeks of February 20th, but not the Raptor. So Raptor won't schedule this week. Sorry, excuse me. 23 Explorer, they are scheduling for February dates. They didn't have any dates. They just said main commit, so any dates there. Keep in mind the base 100A, they are not going to be scheduling for. So if you're looking for a base model Explorer. 23 Expedition, they are scheduling for February scheduling dates. Something to note that came out today that they noticed on the webdo, and it's in the notes here too, is that if you have a you need to add the heavy duty, I kind of mentioned this last week, the heavy duty trailer tow package, you need to add that to the 203A, 303A, 304A, 400A, and 501A equipment groups to allow for scheduling. So those basically are equipment groups for the 203A is on the XLT trim. So if you have an XLT with the 203A equipment group, 303 and 304 on the limited, and 400 I believe is on the Timberline. 501, I might be wrong on that. 501, one of those is I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll have to look it up. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But another thing to note too is they said 202A and 301A will not be selected for scheduling this week. So 202A is the on the XLT is probably the biggest one there. Those are not scheduling. So 23 Maverick is scheduling through the week of February 20th. I think our region's not going to get scheduling again. It looks like we're having that same NSP with regional allocations being an issue, which I haven't really noticed that before in the past, so it's a little weird. But I don't understand how us as dealerships, we have allocations available, but yet the region doesn't, and I don't know how that works. But so maybe next week they'll free that up. I don't know, but congratulations to other regions other than the KC region. So hopefully you guys get scheduled. Oh, I noticed that happened last week. We didn't have any scheduled, but there were other regions that did. So congratulations for those that do. So be looking for that, especially those that had a rollover order. They're going to have higher priority, so they're more likely to get scheduled.
I got a question. What does priority code 12 mean? Priority codes are how you can order your orders, basically, in what needs to be scheduled first. So a 10 would be looked at first by Ford, and then the 11s, and then 12s. For our Mavericks, we have rollovers as 10, 11, 12, 13s, and then all of our new orders as a 15. So our rollovers will get looked at first.
Yep, so they can get prioritized.
It depends on how your dealer is handling their priorities, what a priority code 12 could mean for your dealer.
Yeah, more than likely. I think this person is this the same person that we talked about earlier? Maybe.
Possibly.
So we had someone earlier that asked that too, and wondered whether or not they, were just working with a bad dealership. But looks like to me they're doing the right thing.
Yep.
So
if it's a 12, you're pretty good. 19 is like the default. So
I think they said they had a November order. So if they had a November, if they're doing it similar to us, we're prioritizing 10s. As our October orders, 11 is our November orders, so they might be doing something similar. So.
Yep, and then can a dealer mark up a vehicle if buying X-Plan?
No. If they honor X-Plan, they have to keep to the price that's on the X-Plan. Okay. They're required to. Now, they don't have to honor X-Plan if they don't want to.
Okay, there we go.
So that would be, in a sense, of not marking up X-Plan. They're just not honoring X-Plan. All right. Moving on, Ranger is scheduling this week for February build dates. Something to note there is we talked about last week how some of these things were these part constraints were going to be issues that you might have to remove things. So there was they were saying that if you had a Ranger XL with the 101A, you had to add the 90D option, which was the 1 keyless entry and 1 manual key. They're saying now you need to remove it because they have parts and they won't get scheduled unless you remove it. So that's a good thing. So we're going in the right direction here instead of the wrong direction for that. So if you do have a Ranger XL with a 101A, make sure your dealership does not have option 90D on your order. So to note, so that way that can be looked at for scheduling. So, and I would do that quickly because they schedule on Thursdays. So On the F-150, it is scheduling through the week of January 23rd. All right, and then again, same note as last week. Limited 2 kilowatt power inverters, moonroofs, power tailgates, and 3.3 liter. They took out the 5.0 from last week, so looks like they are looking to schedule some 5.0s and some of the other motors. So, all right, 23 Super Duty. 23 startup scheduling. Remember, that's only the Kentucky truck plant. So the KC is not scheduling for yet. Ohio, not Kansas City. And also to remind you that King Ranch Platinum Limited, they are job 2. They will not schedule until at least for April build dates, I think. So don't worry about having those. If you have one of those, you're not going to get scheduled for a while. So there you go. And then Transit Connect Van and Wagon is not scheduling this week. Transit is scheduling this week through February 20th build dates. A lot of different constraints. It looks like they're all the same as they were last week. If you have a Transit and you want to know, drop it in the comments. We can let you know if there's any constraints on something you have. 23 Mach-E, no scheduling for the U.S. Again, don't forget plant facility is down until February 13th. I think they extended that. So February 13th, the plant will be down.
I think what they were talking about scheduling for the Maverick, does that mean hybrids will get more builds? Probably to the KC region?
No. I mean, they're going to schedule both hybrid and EcoBoost to fulfill those dates.
Yeah.
So what was it? Through now they're moving into, I think last week they were going through January 30th.
Yeah.
Now they're going into February build dates. So they'll schedule hybrids as well.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna, again, that 65% rate. So, which we'll talk about that just a little bit. It's part of the, is it true?
Ford ran ads saying you would get MSRP of your order dates. Some of this ordered in 21. So if Ford is true to the ad, this would be good for us. How will Ford do this in Smart Vincent?
I'd have to see that ad because it'd be surprising that they would actually do that because they can't dictate what dealerships charge.
That would 2021 is when ordering became big, and so they were probably just trying to promote it.
Well, and back then, it's just like now, what they called it is lock in your rates and incentives.
Yes.
Now. It's not necessarily lock in your price, lock in your incentives, lock in your rebates and incentives now. And that's true when you order,
Yes.
except when that order gets carried over from one model year to the next. They can't do that. So it's impossible for them to be able to do that. You can look at Bronco people that have orders in 21 that are finally getting scheduled. You know, it would be difficult for them to go back. So, yeah.
And then someone asked about the next Lightning Wave.
Don't know. I'm not sure. We can look up here in just a little bit. We can look up and see if we have any. And we'll look at that here in a second. Let me finish out the scheduling here, and we'll look up if we have any. The only way I'd know is if it's coming up is if we already have our customers' names slotted with a wave invite. So, all right. So on the 23 Corsair, they are scheduling through February 20th. Of course, that goes along with the Escape. Nautilus is not scheduling. 23 Aviator is scheduling for February build dates. No plug-in, just like with the no plug-in hybrid, I should say. And then 23 Navigator is scheduling for February build dates as well. So, and always remember those models all coincide with their Ford counterparts. So Corsair with Escape, Nautilus with Edge, Aviator with Explorer, and Navigator with Expedition. They're all built in the same plant, so they'll always stick to the same scheduling for the most part. So, all right.
I have a transit order with you. Would you please review the current constraints?
Okay. Yep. All right.
That's Socius that asked that.
Okay. Yeah. So on the Transit, it's the same as it has been. So limited 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine for the regular cargo van and crew van. So, and then the HID static bending headlights is limited in how many they're going to schedule. Limited high res camera with the 12-inch screen. And then it says currently not available is the power sliding 65C option. And then also not available is the 3.5 liter engine, the 998 engine code for the crew cab, or for the cutaways, I should say. So there you go. So that engine's not available on the cutaway. So they're probably saving those for the other ones. and then orders needed from dealers for remaining BEV commodity allocations. So, and then also they did say though improved availability for the AM/FM radio 58U. So if you have that, then you're good to go there. So anyway, and we say limited, which means they'll still schedule some, but it's on a lower number. So which is kind of like what we're going to talk about here in a little bit as part of the topic for tonight. So let me look here. We'll pull this up. Let me just see real quick. If you have any other questions, go ahead and answer those while I...
Okay. Trimmers are being worked on. Trimmer orders. Hybrid itself, the hybrid engine is a constraint, and so you are seeing some of the trimmer orders being built before hybrids, some of those 22 hybrids.
Well, along with, I wouldn't
Yes.
say before.
Well, I mean, those that got canceled, or the 22 that got canceled now being 23s.
Oh.
We're seeing some 23 trimmers getting delivered before those 22 hybrids.
Yeah, we are.
So-
But we have one that's in Kansas City right now. We have a 23 and a 22 in Kansas City. So our very last 22, well, I wouldn't say our last because we have one that's being drop shipped. The last one delivered to us for 22 is in Kansas City, as well as our first 23 is also in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So we could at the same time get one of our last 22s and one of our first 23s.
Yeah.
Which isn't uncommon. The other day we had 22 F-150s and 23s coming together. But what's cool about it is it's a hybrid. The first one is a hybrid, and it's a black appearance package. So I'm really excited to see that. So you're seeing hybrids. Our first 23 will be a hybrid that'll show up here. So, which is kind of cool.
Someone said the trimmers are EcoBoost motors, so only the trimmer constraints unless you add stuff. So yeah, and actually the trimmer comes with the hitch, the trimmer package. And so I was looking at our order because my husband and I have a trimmer on order. We have one placed, and right now one of the constraints that the NSP says is hitch. So that would cause a delay for trimmers, is that hitch.
Yeah, that hitch is showing up as a possible, but I think on ours it's more that the region doesn't have allocations. But I looked and I don't see any wave invite, or like they'll usually let us know, the dealerships know ahead of time if who in our list is going to get a wave 6 invite, and it's not in there yet. So I don't know how long it'll be. So should be any time now, I think.
Yeah. Do you know what the cure time for their undercoating is? Isn't it like the bed liner, only a day or two?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah,
it's like the bed liner. It hardens really quickly within a few hours, but then, for it to be solid, it would be like a day or so, because they tell you not to put anything in your bed the first day or two.
Yeah, so, all right, moving on, let's talk about some different dealer news updates. And this in here, first one, actually, I don't know if I'd consider that, but I do have a link in the description for this first one. The F-150 Lightning wins the Motor Trend Truck of the Year for 2023. So they said it was so it says the F-150 Lightning is the first electric truck to win by a unanimous vote among the judges. So unanimous, so all of them voted for the Lightning. And it says it's also only the second time an electric vehicle has won unanimously in the history of Motor Trends of the Year competitions. Probably Tesla. Tesla was probably the first one. So anyway, so it links in the description if you want to read Ford's media results. Motor Trend's pretty usually it's I thought Motor Trend's usually if it's a new redesign for that year or whatever, so I was a little surprised that F-150 was up for it for 23. I assume they'd be up for it for 22, but maybe because of when it was released so late that it became 23. So that's pretty cool. So I'm driving a truck of the year.
So all Maverick trimmers are EcoBoost. The F3 trimmer said that you can get it with a Godzilla motor.
They're talking about Super Duty.
Yes. So what we're talking about is not the F350. We're talking about the Maverick trimmers.
We were talking about the Maverick.
And those are all EcoBoost.
Yeah. So sorry. Most of the people in the community in here are talking Maverick for the most part. So we get sometimes when there's not a model chosen or told us in there, we just assume it's Maverick.
Yes.
Okay, now moving on, talking more about the Lightning. There's some cool news that just was released this last week, that there's an OTA This can be happening on some of the Lightnings, and all of the 23 Lightning F-150s, F-150 Lightning trucks that are being built after December 15th will come with the new Sync 4 enhancements. They're called the Enhanced Sync 4A Experience. So they'll have it already in any of the vehicles prior to that, including mine, 22 or any 23s built before that, will get an OTA update eventually for these features as well. And some of them are pretty cool. So I actually have some images on a couple, and there is a link in the description for the on Ford's website where to find that. You click on the very first information or details about it. So basically the first one is, let's see if I get this right. There you go. So there is the status bar. So new icons at the top of the display to help access features quickly. And then for the app area, so for the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay is bigger now. So now it takes up more of that screen. So that's kind of cool. So it says now utilize larger area on the 15.5-inch screen. Now this is for, I forgot to mention, this is for the Lariat and the Platinum editions that have the Sync 4A, which is the 15.5-inch screen, not the Sync 4. So just keep that in mind. Also the climate control, kind of like this. Now the dial, which has been used just for the audio, is going to be able to be used for the climate as well, to raise and lower the climate, which I think is pretty cool. Although hitting the button is not that difficult. But anyway, it's still kind of cool. It says audio volume knob, adjust temperature, fan, and heated seat settings, which sometimes the heated seats, you got to go up, you got to move it up and down. So yeah, I could maybe see some of that. But and then on the settings, don't have an image for that. Consolidated vehicle settings into a single menu for easier access, and then OTA, improved scheduling for those for software updates, and then the camera.
What is OTA?
Over the air update.
Thank you.
Over the air. And then the camera. So now, which I actually like this feature, easy camera access by tapping a new camera icon at the top of the 15.5-inch screen. So right now what you have to do is you actually have to go into settings and then hit the camera, and then you can view it, which I kind of like that, because there's sometimes when I'm parking or something, I'd love to just be able to hit one button and boom, it's there with the overhead of the 360 camera. So that will come with that update. So pretty cool.
We do not know when 23 Broncos or the ordering banks will open.
Yeah, still no information on that yet. But
yeah.
All right, so I mentioned this on my Thursday live stream on Facebook,
which I did not watch.
So Wednesday, I told you guys last Wednesday that I was helping my daughter and son-in-law move their furniture and such.
Yes.
So I used the F-150 Lightning to pull a enclosed car hauler trailer with stuff in there, and I got to chance to see how it tows and how it affected the mileage. So we went from here to Fort Riley, which is about 45 miles, I should say, drive there. And so once I hooked it up, I had about 90% battery when we left.
Yeah.
And I hooked that up, and it immediately took it down to like 120 or 130 miles. We got on the highway and it said 100 on the way there. And I'm like, well, I know I can get there. Don't know about getting back. And the reason it was an issue is that there aren't any charging stations between Salina and like Kansas City, I think. So definitely not any in Junction City, and there aren't any in Fort Riley. There weren't any in Abilene. There's a Tesla charger in Abilene. Okay. But so I was a little nervous, but once we got going on the highway and everything, one of the things that helped me was I did go 65. So I says, I'm going to be committed to go 65, and that helped. So slowing the speed down, I made sure the tires were inflated as well, which helped, and then just stuck to that. And as I pulled away from stops and such too, I didn't floor it. I didn't, do that, because I could have with the
How far is
vehicle.
Kansas City?
So
Kansas City, it depends on where you're hitting, but getting
about 2 hours.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours to get to the
2.5.
right outside of it.
Yeah, so we need more chargers along the highway in Kansas, definitely. But I got there, and it said that we had about 69, 70 miles. And of course, we had to go through Junction City, which helped, because as you go through and I hit those stoplights, I'm regenerating more of that back. So I'm not using any as I'm going through town at all. So I got there, and then we, of course, emptied the trailer, and on the way back, it was lighter. So we went 65 again, and we got back to town on the north side of town, and we had to go clear over to the south side to drop off the trailer. We hit the town at 9 miles left. And I said, I'm going through town. I'm not going to take the highway. And I think we can get around there, and I think we can get it dropped off and be fine.
Yeah.
And it was probably 10 miles across town. I
Yeah.
don't know. 6 maybe. No, it's more than 6. So
Yeah.
it's about 8. Anyway, we lost 2 miles going through town with regenerative braking and everything,
Yeah.
and pulling away at a good pace, not slow or kind of slow and everything, and then dropped off the trailer. And I still had, once I dropped the trailer off, it said I had 12, so it adjusted for that, not having the trailer back there, but
Yeah.
I made it. So, and what's really funny is that when we got back home, I got back home to plug it in, my wife gets this on her Ford Pass app, says, arrived at home, lightning is at home, you may want to plug in now.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
You may.
I didn't see it, but it popped up for her because we share the same account. But that was really funny.
So 2 people have mentioned that their frunks on their lightnings have broken.
Frunks.
Frunk. The latch.
The latch?
The latch. 2 people.
Huh.
One guy said it happened at the dealership when he was picking up. And the other one said it was 12 days after picking up.
Interesting. I haven't had any issues with mine.
There's back order on lightning parts, as you could imagine.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's why I'm very careful and not making sure that I don't.
First time I drove it, he's like, be careful, they aren't making parts for it yet.
Yeah, I feel the same way about my Bronco too. It's been a little while.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We did talk last week about parts issues. So there's been a change to the 23 Explorer because of that same issue. The second row USB ports that are on the back side of the console are going to be effective December 5th. Will no longer be a USB type A and C, but 2 USB-C ports. So that's basically, I know what, if you have an Android phone, that's what plugs into your phone. That's that same end is be on the other end. So actually USB-C actually charges faster.
I like it. It's what I use.
If you have one, you'd be better off using it anyway. But you should be able to find some different ports if you need to find
Yep.
those. But that'll be effective not on the base model, but all the others: XLT, ST line, Timberline, all of them.
Eugene Abbing asked, what % were you when you got home in your lightning from your trip? Like when you actually reached the house?
4%.
You was at 4%, Eugene.
4%.
I believe Eugene Abbing is the one that has a lightning and does TikTok videos.
He didn't. I know he's got an electric vehicle that he does TikTok videos on.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's got a lightning reserved with this or something. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, another one that's being affected by USB port changes, and that is on the 22 Nautilus and 23 Aviator. So 22 Nautilus is built on or after November 16th of 22, and 23 Lincoln Aviators built on or after December 5th will also have 2 USB-Cs on the back as well. So just to note that.
Tim forgot to mention he caught a cold while he was out of town. Tim recharged faster than the lightning.
Actually, I plugged in the lightning with the 110 outlet because that's what I've been charging. I don't have my fast charger plugged in yet. And what's funny is I actually was surprised because normally I only get about 5% overnight charged with a 110 outlet. And that next morning, it was at 15%, from 4 to 15%.
Yeah.
So I was pretty impressed. So I think at the slower, when you have more that needs to be charged, it'll charge at a faster rate no matter what plug-in you have.
In case you didn't know, if an electric vehicle is plugged in, don't unplug it and plug in a different charger. Don't do it.
Yeah, we have some issues around here. I'm like, okay, plug-in etiquette here. You don't unplug somebody's charger from their vehicle. So we have it here, and they are free chargers, so you can't complain too much. But it happens here sometimes when I try to plug in at work, that somebody will unplug my 40 and plug in the 30 instead. And I'm like, that's not cool. Don't do that.
Yeah. Blanca says that there's a couple of chargers by Sam's Club in Topeka.
Okay, there you go.
You can hit Topeka.
There you go. All right, another change is on the Bronco. So the Bronco audio system, we actually talked about this last week, and we didn't know if it was going to be a change that we were going to implement yet. Yes, it is. So, but only on one of the audio systems. So this is which is good. So the upper audio system is not being affected. So it does say in an effort to help vehicles To help customers receive their vehicles sooner, Bronco will have a product offering change related to the Ford Bronco audio 6-speaker with a subwoofer system. So this year was the first year they actually added the subwoofer to their audio sound system to make it better, and now they're taking it away. So you have to add option 58E to get selected for scheduling. If you have the 6-speaker audio sound system with subwoofer, you need to add that, or else it won't be selected for scheduling, and it will it sounds like to me here it says the option will automatically be added to the affected vehicles. Vehicles with this option will be produced with 6 speakers. However, they will be equipped with a non-functional amplifier that does not support subwoofer functionality. The vehicle will not retrofit. So some of these, as we go through these, I'll try to keep us updated on which ones can be added on later, and this one cannot be, it says. But you will get a $250 credit. And you'll know if this has been affected on yours if you look on the window sticker, because it'll give you a credit for that. So that's how you'll know if yours is affected by that. And it does say, I think, that they're going to automatically, the option code will automatically be added to affected vehicles. So you don't have an option to not have it added. Ford will add it to your vehicle, so you don't have a choice.
Yeah. Eugene Abbing has a Polestar 2.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. And Vicky Dell asked if you can check her vehicle.
Vicky? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did look. It's saying the same thing. It did update the ETA dates to December ETA dates, but it's currently it's still saying it's in the same place as it has been. So at least now, because they've updated the ETA dates, that means they're actively looking at it now and trying to help. So that's a good sign. So we'll just see. But let's see how that goes. Anyway, and then there has been a change to the 23 Transit Trail. So I mentioned it, and what was in November when they released information on the new Transit Trail for those do-it-yourselfers and campers and such that want to go and get this added to the vehicle, that this could be put on it. But at the time, if you didn't have, you had to have an order already placed and then had this package added to that body code. And there was no other way. You couldn't order one because the order banks were closed. Well, they are going to open up the order banks this week, and they actually should be open right now. So you should be able to go in, and your dealership should be able to order one of those. So if you do want one, you can go to your dealer. They can put in an order. They did say that orders, the orders that are going to be that you're going to be able to order is they'll be required to have that Transit Trail package 47N. So if they see an order put in that doesn't have that package on there, they will cancel that order. So you'll need to make sure that you're getting that Transit Trail. So they're just opening it up for people that want the Transit Trail because of all the demand and the way they released it. Since it was a late release, it was kind of not fair because then it was too late for them to be able to order because the order banks are already closed.
Yeah.
So, the first option was if you had an existing reach out order with an EcoBoost engine 99G and you had the right body code, then you could add that package on there. Now, and then if you put in a new stock order, you could do it, but we know retails are going to always be looked at first. But now they've opened it up so you can go ahead and order. So that's pretty cool. So, and I don't know how long, it doesn't say how long they'll have it open. So you might want to hurry in and get that order in if that's what you're wanting. So, there you go.
News Now Yukon. Yes. When a vehicle is in transit, there's a way that they can check on where it is. In fact, they have a new system that goes more in depth.
Yeah. Because before all you could see was when it got, hit certain junctions and it switched from one rail to another. Then you got that check off. But now you can actually physically see where it's at on the rail as it's going.
Yeah. Vicky Dell. Yes. That we were talking about your order.
Yes. Yeah, we were talking about your order. So right now, they're looking at it.
Do you know what the cost of the Transit Trail package is?
I don't. I haven't really looked into it too much.
Yes.
So.
James Chapman.
Maybe I'll do a separate video on that.
Yeah, James Chapman, are you talking about the new? Because it says here, I think they're talking about how you're looking for vehicles or tracking vehicles. Ours is already up. Maybe they're coming up with a new link for customers to use.
Oh, There's actually an app that somebody created called I think Order Track app, and it was just somebody that created it. It wasn't somebody from Ford that created the app, and he was taking the app down. So that was somebody that just did that on their own, came up with the algorithm and everything, and they were taking that down, I think. So anyway, so that was not from Ford though. So yeah.
Do you think that we could do an informational video on undercoating vehicles, like maybe go through the process?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that would be fun.
Actually, I've talked to Aftermarket about a few different videos that I told them
I
that
think it would be fun
if
to
we
partner with them and do a couple.
Yeah, because I mentioned that on the hitch and such, and then
Because we did one on the bed cover.
Bed cover, yep.
And people really liked that. So
yep.
Yeah.
So I probably won't be as informational like that, because that one we did in there. A lot of times now we have service doing, so we have so much demand and everything, we do it in service, so it'd be more of a using a GoPro and doing some video overlay or something.
And then can you elaborate on the F-150 heated steering wheel retrofit you mentioned last stream? Will this be covered by Ford, or will they have to pay off pocket?
No. If typically if they don't, unless they give you a credit, they won't, and I think they actually do give you credit on that.
Which is like a price decrease.
Yeah, so they might, but they might charge you, but it may be the same that they discounted, I would assume, but I don't know. That's a good question. They didn't give us that information. They just said it would be able to be retrofitted later via an FSA, which I think is a field service something. But so anyway, I don't know about payment on who would pay for that yet. Yeah. So
Gene Hanks, if you want to reach out to me tomorrow, I can go over allocations on the transit trail for you. I can check on that.
Yeah, I might do a video on that. You might actually something I haven't talked about yet. I kind of went over it, but we have a build and price on our website now. So I actually was going to highlight that and show you.
While you're doing that, you can put undercoating on pretty much any vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So on our website, we actually we're partnering it with a company that is doing build and price on our website. So it's a little different. They like to use the price list in the order guides, so they're pretty accurate. In fact, right now, if you look on Ford's website, if you go down here to the Mustang, the 23 order guide or 23 build and price isn't on Ford's website right now, but it's on our website, which is kind of cool. So maybe I'll see if we can do a video on the transit trail and see if we can get that I'm testing it out. So I'm wanting to, we already found a couple errors that they had on there, and they fixed right away, which is really awesome, and how quickly they fixed it on a Super Duty order. Yeah. So we're like to test those out and everything. But yeah, pretty accurate. It's a little different, but kind of like it. So that's kind of cool to have that on there. And what's great about it is I know that they had the Maverick build and price up on they're doing this with other dealers, but they had the Maverick up and going like a day after Maverick opened up, the order banks opened up.
Yeah.
And Ford, it was still a couple weeks later. So pretty cool. Kind of happy that we partnered up with them and worked with them. And what's really cool about it too is on their build and price, we're going to be adding our aftermarket products onto our build and price. So we'll have custom order stuff. So if you want one of our special packages, you'll see how much it is, what's included in those packages and everything. And even one of my videos, if I've done a video on that package as well, and then you add that to it so you can see the difference in that price. So if you're ordering with this and you want that package ahead of time, which we have some people do and say, hey, I want an F-150, I want that Lightning package, or I want that LMX4 on the Bronco Sport, whatever, then you can go, they know, and they can do that ahead of time. I know they have it and send it to us, so we know that they want that added when it comes in. So pretty cool. So looking forward to that. So all right, so I actually have I'm just gonna let you guys see it. There's a link in the description for the new 2023 Ford GT, the MK4. So they're gonna make 67 of these vehicles. So it's very special. I actually do have some images here, don't I?
I don't know.
Maybe not.
You said your stream deck.
Nope, I didn't. I forgot that. Okay, so I don't have pictures of it, but check out the link in the description if you want to learn more about it. So it's an 800 horsepower track only edition of the GT, so pretty cool for 2023. So yeah, check out all that information. Pretty cool looking, actually.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, check that out. I just want to move on. You guys can check that out. So moving on to the Is It True for this week. And I decided for this week, I actually went on the Maverick Truck Club. There was a forum, there was a thread going on there, and its thread is linked in the description. But I'm going to read the actual what the person stated that they heard from their dealership. So it says, my sales rep at my local Ford supposed to be dealer was being a bit evasive over the phone, so I went in person to see if he had any updates on my order, and boy did he. Ford is allocating only a % of all orders per dealer, and a tiny amount of those produced orders are going to be hybrids. Here's where I am upset, is what I'm going to say. It's not what he said. It says, if your order is not one of the above mentioned orders, meaning it's not one of the small % or the tiny amount, then you're bumped to next year's order lot. So they're canceling your 23 order and will recreate that order for next year when the order bank's open. That is not true. So the reason I kind of want to bring this up, and I mean, it's, we see different things from dealers, and we know dealers are getting just as upset as the customers are about taking so long to get these, but we're just not now starting. I had to remind somebody that today is that, we just started production 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
I just started production. We have a good, 10 months of production for us to have to get these built. They're not going to make that decision yet until they see how production's going. What if they ramp up production, they get more batteries produced, and they're able to do more things? That could totally change. So they're not going to make that decision yet. So don't go in and cancel. If you hopefully, this thread was going pretty good. It's got like 8 pages on this of comments and such. So hopefully everybody in there is informed to just know that this is not true, and don't freak out and jump ship just yet. So just wait, be patient, be waiting a little bit. I know people aren't getting scheduled as fast as they want, and remember, everybody put in all the orders for 1 full year in 5 days, so they're not all going to get scheduled in the first month. It's going to take several months to get them scheduled. I had to remind people this on the 22 Maverick last summer when they were saying, well, doesn't look like mine's going to get built for 22. And they still had 3 months of production to be scheduled yet at that point. And so, and that's another 15,000 or more units are going to be built to produce that. So anyway, just be patient. Don't jump ship yet. Unless you need a vehicle, then that's understandable. So
Nathan Chapman, yes, we did the constraint, or did we do the constraint list for the 23 Mavericks? No.
I mean, it hasn't changed. The only thing they mentioned on the order sheet was the hybrid, the splash guards, the tonneau covers, and the hitch.
Yes. Now with the hitch, if you get the 4-pin, does it have the wiring to make it a 7-pin with the trailer brake?
The only way you get the 7-pin wiring with the hitch is on the tow package. Okay. The 4K tow package, which requires EcoBoost.
There we go.
So.
Okay. There was a couple of others. Right. How long before Bowles asked how long before Niles dreams up an LMP package for the Maverick? Probably when parts become more readily available and they start adding more aftermarket stuff.
I mean, it's pretty, and we can do it.
We've came out last year.
We've done it. I mean, basically the LMX4 we do on the Bronco Sport is we level it, put a front lift, and that's just usually a spacer that's being put in there, and then we put some different wheels and tires on it, and then leather interior. So
there's a cool chase rack out, so they might make a Maverick build with that, but right now everything's special ordered, so they can't really build one and promote it.
That's the difficulty, is that we don't have any stock Mavericks, so it's kind of hard to be able to promote it and say here's what it is, but
here's what it looks like
if we can get one, hopefully. And
but if you have ideas for anything that you want to add or anything you want to build, they can make your dream come true.
We can do that. All right, so let me get into tonight's topic real quick. This topic came out. It says right there, should you add accessories to your order? And I came out because Ford actually released through Ford Accessories this little bulletin here that I showed on Thursday night live stream. It says Ford now has available capacity for the spray-in bed liner option and won't delay truck delivery, with an asterisk. It says spray-in bed liners are available, have available capacity to meet customer demand. Factory spray-in liners mean your truck arrive ready for work or play. Now, I don't think it'll be, and keep this in mind, it's going to, once it gets produced, they have to put the spray and liner. So it's no different than putting the spray and liner when it gets here.
Yeah.
So the time frame, in a sense, it might, when she gets here, you can take delivery quicker, but you know, it's also going to take another day or two to get put in, just like it would if it was at the dealership. But yeah, I would just, that's something that, I mean, basically my gut on this is that yes, they are within capacity, which means that their capacity on spray and bed liners, I think this year is like 40% for the Maverick. And so what, you know, they are within that. What basically means is not 40% of, you know, less than 40% of the orders already have spray and bed liner added to them. So they're saying they're within capacity to be able to handle them. But when you have that added on there, they're only going to schedule at 40% capacity.
Yeah.
So out of 100 orders, 60 of those need to be built without the spray and bed liner.
Yes.
So, and I still, so my opinion is I still believe in is if you can get it later, get it later.
Yeah.
If it's a factory installed option, do the factory installed option. So that's where like that we're finding out the hitch is now, we can't ditch the hitch anymore if you want the wiring on there. You know, if you if you want the hitch so you can like pull, you know, some something on the back, you know, like the bikes or something like that, and you don't need the wiring, then you could do that.
Yeah.
But if you plan to tow with it and need the wiring, then you need to probably leave it on your order. Or, you know, just know that if you don't, that, and maybe eventually somebody comes out with the wiring or Ford fixes the issue and comes up with something, and that might happen. I mean, it could be 6 months before you are able to get your Maverick anyway.
Yeah.
It might be something down the road that they will have that fix for the wiring at some point.
Yeah.
So just, it's to tell, but.
Do you charge the same as the factory for spray and bed liners?
We do, and we warranty ours lifetime.
Yes.
So where Ford does a 3-year 36, along McArthur, we use Toff spray and liner material, and we do the same price. We match price match on all of our trucks.
Yep.
So.
Vicky Dell, if you would like a phone call, I can call you tomorrow.
Yep.
Yep. I'll give you a call and chat over things with you.
Yeah.
There was another one. They resent the pictures for the GT Mav. I had the pictures. I just forgot to send them over to Tim's email in time to get it onto the live stream.
Yeah.
He preloads all the images so he doesn't need to.
Which I forgot a couple, so. All right.
Is there a database or place where one can find dealers who honor X-Plan pricing? It's up to the dealer on a base-to-base or case-to-case basis. So if they choose on one person, they can, and then the next person they don't have to. So there's not really a list of where you can find dealers.
Most dealerships are going to do it on one model. They're going to do it on all of them.
Yeah.
But so, and then like I know the EVs don't do X-Plan now on 23 on and on. So
Yeah.
I know that on the Lightning they weren't doing X-Plan on those, and then on 23. New 23 Mach-E orders, they weren't doing X-Plan anymore on those. So, but yeah. So, but I have pretty much everything else. There's somebody wanted to know how that their dealership doesn't know their inventory specialist.
Yeah.
And they don't know who it is. Yeah. I actually found our region's list of contact information on FMC Dealer. So, you know, if you have that issue, you can email me. I can give you that. But basically, you go to FMC Dealer, you go to the sales, and they need to be looking for market and region pages. So within that, they go then click on region page, and that contact list is there. It's pretty cool because then you could see who is in your region and such, who's been reassigned and everything. And you're gonna be looking for the sales and inventory specialist. Is who you're gonna be looking for, or manager. I've been actually emailing the manager lately too. Both of them, but yeah. Any other questions you got?
Yes, there was one.
Fire away.
Yes, if you would like parts for your vehicle, like if you want to add parts, aftermarket parts to your Maverick, give Niles a call ahead of time so he has time to order them before you get here. Or if you have one on order with us, let him know. I think he's going to be contacting people as he sees that they're arriving.
Scheduled.
Or
when they get scheduled.
As they're getting scheduled, he'll contact you to go over aftermarket options.
Yeah.
So, or if you don't hear from him when it gets scheduled, go ahead and give him a call. at that time. That way they're prepared. They can,
Have the part here.
or if it's a spray and bed liner, they can get it scheduled immediately. That sort of thing. So.
Yeah, which is difficult because we've actually had people that have wanted to make plane reservations in advance and says, well, according to the thing, and it should be here within this week. And I'm like, yeah, we can't guarantee that because it's not always the case. And I think Vicky's looking for Ford. She needs to contact someone at Ford. So Vicky, we'll get you Ford's complaint line. That's the only person that I know.
And we've made all of the calls that we can to Ford.
Yeah, I took that contact list. One of the reasons I found that contact list was because of your order. I was looking for other people that I could talk to above our inventory specialists because I wasn't getting anywhere. And I think it wasn't that she wasn't doing her job. It's just that she, could only do so much as well. Because once that's handed off to the shippers, it's out of Ford's hands at that point. It's not. I mean, Ford can track it, but it's kind of out of their hands. And that's same thing happened for me. There wasn't anybody I could call to get anything done. I mean, I was calling. I mean, even the general manager was reaching out to the head of our region, and couldn't get anything resolved. And I mean, every time we met for our monthly wholesale, which is when we used to do that, I would say, what's going on with my expedition, but I couldn't get anything accomplished. So I just had to wait. And so it was terrible. But here's the problem is that now that the 23s are starting to go out, they should be looking and seeing all these 22s that are left and getting them out and moved. Which is really kind of ridiculous. So, but yeah, I'll email again to the people that I had and see what they can do. But at this point, since it's already arrived at the ramp, once it says it's been released from the factory, Ford, it's all in the shippers from there. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything we can do. So,
how to clear a Ford Pass alert. Low tire. Once it's fixed and correct pressures are now shown on the app. I don't know. Ford Pass has been weird for me. So I'm not able to start my truck right now. It hasn't been starting it when I hit hold and press. Hasn't been starting it. It just loads and loads and loads and loads and loads.
I will tell you with this, because mine actually on the Lightning, it threw a warning light for the tire pressure for one of my tires, and which is the reason I started looking and seeing what tire pressure they're on. Always happens on a lot of vehicles during the winter time. I've noticed though that I went ahead and aired it up myself and to the proper ones, and then start driving it, and it'll adjust and change in the app. And it actually, usually you got to go in to reset the alert on the dash and everything, but mine actually reset itself, so I didn't have to go in and have it reset, which is pretty cool.
There are many videos of people adding trailer wiring to their 22 Mavericks. Not sure why there's a problem now. So there are aftermarket accessories to add the wiring and to add the hitch, but it's not going to be under a warranty, and it will probably void your warranty.
Yeah, so that's what we found out, is that our aftermarket is really big in making sure our customers are covered if there's something that we do to their vehicle. So if we're going to do something and add something to your vehicle, we're going to make sure that it's going to be covered by a warranty either that we're going to do or the warranty by the company that is supplying the parts. And one of the things that we found out is that you can go ahead and add the hitch. That's not a problem. The hitch isn't the problem. It's the wiring, which we talked about this last week, but the wiring is not working. Even Ford's system is not working. Their wiring. So it basically, it throws errors, and it can mess up your electronics and such. And if Ford's not even going to, have a wiring solution that will work. We did mention last week there was one. Kurt has a wiring that you could use, but they're not providing any kind of warranty to it. No. So if it throws any kind of codes and messes anything up, you're gonna have to pay for it yourself. So you can go ahead and try it, and you can do that, but then keep in mind that if something happens with the wiring and something happens electronically, you're paying for the cost for the repair. Yeah.
Do you know which regions have Maverick allocations this week?
I don't.
No.
We only know KC region, so.
Yep. Okay.
And keep in mind too, your dealership has to have allocations. When we talk about scheduling for those different models, your dealership has to have available allocations as well on top of that. Yeah. So like for us, we have 25 Maverick allocations, but our region for some reason doesn't. Yeah. So we're not getting any of them are scheduled this week. Yeah. So your dealership has to have allocations.
Okay. Can you give out the number for the complaint line? You know what? We should all just flood the complaint line with calls for Vicky and say, look, our friend needs her truck. She needs it now.
I don't know. I know if you go to Ford.com, though, you can see all the different contact numbers. Support and service. Yeah, here, let me see. See if this is working.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
This is working. Here. So if you go to Ford.com, support
Yes.
and service, you can go contact Ford right there, and then it has all the different lines here. So that's social media. Vehicles, there we go. Phone. So you have credit, Ford credit, we have roadside assistance, rewards. I was thinking, I guess you have this number to start with.
Yeah.
That's,
And from there, I
that's
think,
the
yeah.
Ford one.
Yep.
We have one on our phone list.
There. Customer
That's the
support.
Same, that's the same
Oh.
number.
I have one listed on my computer. 800-342 Ford.
Yeah, that's this one.
No, that's 392. Mine says 342.
I don't know. Anyway,
No, mine says 392.
yeah, 392 Ford.
Yep.
And
That's
that,
what mine
I think
says.
that is actually the complaint line, is 392 Ford.
So we should all go complain. Did the wave schedule that Ford released for the Lightning waves imply there was a December wave, or is the next one February?
Believe there's a December wave starting.
Yes.
Because the other one expired on the 1st. It closed off. So I would assume anytime we're going to get a wave 6. Mm-hmm. I believe.
Yes, Eugene. The Maverick, or the ceramic coating on Ridgeview's truck was gorgeous. Lebo did a great job. He really prides himself in doing a fantastic job on the ceramics. So, is McCormack? It's Blake Cormack is a good backup option to Niles.
Yeah.
Yes, he is the head of the aftermarket. Niles just has taken on the Maverick
Mavericks.
customers to try and be that point of contact.
And Sean's also in that department.
Yes, and he's pretty good too.
Yeah. So for the most part, Blake, primarily they kind of have their own roles, but Blake likes to handle a lot of the custom builds that we do.
Yeah.
To a lot of our vehicles, the LMP series on the Explorers, the special edition on the F-150 that we've been doing recently. So he kind of tries to head up most of those, and then Niles is heading up most of the Mavericks and such. But any of the three can help.
Okay. Blanca, send away, although we probably won't be able to make changes until Friday.
Yeah, and we tried making changes on an order today, and it
Yes.
wouldn't let us.
It locked us
because
out.
it was an NSP, and so it wouldn't let us make any changes. So, I really try to encourage people to not try to make changes Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Try to make your changes Friday, Monday.
Yeah. Is the tech bulletin out yet to fix slow speed braking problems on hybrid?
Slow speed braking on hybrid. I've heard people having issues with it, but I don't think it's an actual like TSB or anything like that.
No.
I don't think it's a problem. I
Some
think it's
vehicles are just different. If you haven't driven a hybrid before
It's gonna-
and moving to a hybrid, it's gonna feel different.
you're gonna think there's a problem with the brakes
yes.
possibly, but there's a
Because
reason.
I went from
If you're thinking that it's tight and it's gripping, or something too quickly and that kind of thing, that's the regenerative braking.
Yes.
I mean, it's trying to regenerate
I-
as much of that electric power back in.
yeah. I don't like driving our C-Max because it stops so quickly. But I have a heavier foot, and so my truck is a different level of his C-Max, and so I don't like driving our C-Max because it lurches to a stop and it lurches when I take off. So
My wife doesn't like it because of how it takes off, because she says like it has no power. Like you just got to push your foot a little bit further.
is the tailgate lock so no one steals your tailgate a good option and pricing? I've known of tailgates being stolen.
If the tailgate is down, that's why some people get the tailgate lock. So I think some people are misunderstanding what the tailgate lock is for. The actual tailgate does lock with your keyless entry when you have the tailgate shut on XLT and the Lariat trim with the key on the XL. But what they're talking about the tailgate lock is that when you have the tailgate down, people could take the tailgate out. That's why they get the tailgate lock on the back that goes on the hinge, so it can't be taken out. If you have the tailgate down and then you like leave your vehicle, then that would be the reason. It's just shut your tailgate.
Yeah.
And lock it up.
Will the dealership give me money for the steel wheels after I put custom wheels on? Depends on the dealer.
Well, yeah. I mean, like for us, I mean, it's kind of figured into the cost of the wheels. So we're not probably charging you a full price on the wheels and such. So, but and if you want them back, I mean, they'll let you have them. Put them in the back of the bed.
Yeah, they'll give them to you so you can sell them.
They did on mine when I got the Roush package. I got my original wheels, and then I just told them, I said, you know what? I'm not going to take that package off. Just go ahead and do what you want with the wheels. But
yeah. Is there any updates on when people can put any new Bronco order?
We don't know yet. We're all on pins and needles waiting. I really thought we'd know by now. I really thought, you know, Ford would know how many. I know I looked it up. We have 30 of our rollovers left that need to be scheduled, and that's a pretty low number because we get about 8 allocations a month. So, you know, within like 3 months, you know, we'll have ours all allocated. So, and so maybe we will, maybe they're right. Maybe it is going to be February.
So he asked, how can I make money back for the steel wheels? And Spexineer said, part them out one by one as full-size spares for other Maverick owners. I like that idea.
There you go.
There you go. Welcome, Brian212. Thank you for becoming a member. Please email me when you get a chance.
Yep.
What are the odds the dealership will accept a 2016 Escape with 33,000 miles and a total title as a trade-in?
Well, that's the title. That's going to be an issue, but they'll take it. They're just not. You're not going to get as much for it because it's.
You won't get much.
Yeah.
McArthur says, I finally had the braking problem. At very slow speed, the brakes can grab tightly. Doesn't do it most of the time, and it's not the regenerative braking.
Okay. There you go. All right. Well.
Yep.
And like I said, I'm not driving these.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a hybrid, so most of the Mavericks that our dealership employees actually drive. Most of them are EcoBoosts. So we have a couple with hybrid, but most of them are EcoBoosts. So we don't. We haven't had an opportunity to experience that or have that happen,
I've only driven a hybrid once, and it was for like around the lot real quick. Do you know if it's possible to add the door keypad on the window pillar at the dealership on a Lightning Pro? Yes.
The Lightning Pro, yeah, you should be able to.
Yes.
Yeah. It's basically a sticker because it's basically another wireless keyless entry is what it is. So you just stick it on and then
I don't think I said this. Right now I'm skimming through everything. So if you don't have at Sarah Davis or at Long McArthur, we might miss your question.
Yep.
Sometimes I do catch them without those before it, but sometimes I'm skimming really quickly and I don't catch it.
Yep.
Will the price be different for the spray and bed liner from the factory to the dealer? That's from Roderick.
Okay, so the difference from what we do and what Ford does is Fords will have a Ford oval on the back of the bed. So right under the glass. So it'll have that nice Ford emblem, like kind of stamp in a sense. You won't have that if you don't do that. So they somehow put that on there when then they spray it on it. So the vehicles won't come with it. So if you get it afterwards, it won't have that pretty blue oval, or it's not blue, the Ford oval. But what we do that Ford doesn't do is we've noticed is that they don't spray the top of the bed rail against the glass. They don't spray the top of that, so you can actually see the body color come through up there. What we do here at Long McArthur. So, so anyway.
Will you be doing a review on the 23 EcoBoost and or Tremor when you get one in? Yes.
Tremor.
Hopefully.
So hope. Yeah.
Yes.
So we do.
We do have a few people with Tremors coming in that we think will let us do a video.
We're hoping.
Hopefully. So. I want to drive one. Can I pull it in to the building?
I think that.
Can I pull it around, get it washed up, and do everything?
The black appearance package is coming in. is from a viewer that actually sent us those shirts, those lightning shirts. So I think he'll let us do one on his.
Okay, that would be
on
nice.
the Black Appearance package when it comes in. So I'll have to reach out to him.
Okay.
That's the one that's coming in.
Do you think the hitch on the Bronco Sport is causing delay? I've been in production for about 6 days. Production?
Hitch on the Bronco Sport.
Well, but he's in production.
Oh yeah, once you're in production, you don't have to worry about it.
No.
No, they're gonna produce it.
Yeah, but production takes several days, sometimes a week or two. So if you've been in production for 6 days, that's completely normal. Especially if they like need to take it to the body shop or add things on.
Did they say the hitch? Let's say a hitch isn't
Yes.
a hitch isn't an issue on non-scheduled or unscheduled either orders. But usually when we're talking about constraints, it's not for people that are already scheduled. It's for people that are unscheduled trying to get scheduled. So.
Yes, I do have a very heavy foot when I drive. I take off. Although I'm trying to be better because my husband says that my miles per gallon needs to be different. So I'm trying to go slower when I take off. And I do drive differently with the kids in the car. At one point, do I get a blend date for my 23 Bronco Sport OEX? Do blend dates appear on the window sticker or later date?
Usually are on the window sticker. I think that's that date that's at the bottom. I don't know. I don't really know what all the dates are. I should do that. I have a lot of people that ask questions on that. I should probably do some research and figure out how I can find out what all those dates mean and everything. But I don't know. I don't focus on that. I know when it's supposed to be produced, and then I know, it could take a couple days for it to be produced before it gets released from the factory, and you just got to be patient to wait for that.
Yep.
So, but
I have only noticed the braking issue 2 or 3 times in 9,000 miles, so I don't consider it a big issue, Mike. So, all right. How good or reliable are the new Broncos now? In 3 years, I might get one from David.
Reliable, the Broncos? Pretty good.
Well,
mine's pretty good, other than when you don't drive it and the battery dies on you.
That's what I was going to say.
but
any car does that.
Yeah, every car does that.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially the wintertime. But no, I mean, I think, just depends on how you drive it. If you're going to take it off road and you're going to hardcore it, then you're going to break something. But I mean, you're going to break a Jeep too if you go hardcore off-roading and such. But it is ready and capable to go off-road and handle that. But especially on road, you're not going to have any issues.
Have we had any Bronco Sport Heritage Limited schedule yet? I don't think so.
No, we have not.
Yeah.
Oh, just the one. We had the one.
Oh, we had one.
Yeah, we had one.
But those are going to be in small quantities, and so they're going to be spaced out more.
Yeah, we're getting 2 allocations, so we just don't. Yeah. We haven't gotten any information on how we see if when they did that with the Raptor and such, they actually say, "Hey, we're giving you an allocation for this. Which order that you have in here do you want for us to schedule for that?" And they didn't do that on the first Bronco Sport Heritage Limited Edition. I'd almost put that in the same category as it's manually allocated. Just like with the Raptor, and on the Raptors, they let us know, "Hey, you're getting this many Raptor allocations this week. Which order numbers, send us your order numbers, and we'll make sure those are the ones that they'll get scheduled."
Yeah.
And they're not doing that with those, which I think they should. So I don't know. It's just really weird how they do it. I think there are a lot of people that feel like if they have that Bronco Sport Heritage Limited Edition order in, that they're guaranteed they're going to get it, but they're not. They shouldn't have allowed people to just keep ordering them. Yeah. And they should have done it like they did with the Raptor, in my opinion. But
yeah. Do you know, from our Pavel, do you know how many 22 Maverick rollovers need to be made before they are all making all 23s?
Well, for one, we don't really know. For two, they're not going to schedule strictly rollovers first and such. There are going to be some dealerships out there that didn't prioritize theirs correctly. And but again, remembering capacity, if most of the rollovers, and I'll tell you this on the hybrids, on most of our hybrid rollovers, 90% of them there was a reason why it was still waiting, and it was because they wanted the luxury package, and they had the hybrid, and they wanted the Copilot 360. And again, remembering that only a small percentage, or 30% can be scheduled with that package, and 25% of the Lariats they're gonna be scheduling others that don't have that. So we will see some new 23 orders that'll be introduced as well, along with those rollover orders. So in Ford's site, in their mind, all the orders are 23 orders at this point. They don't know. It's a computer algorithm. They don't know that that was a carryover 22 order that needs to be looked at first. The only way they can know that is by the priority code.
Yeah.
That is what can dictate whether or not this order takes priority, and try to schedule it first before you take one with a lower priority. And that's why, as a dealership, we did that with ours. So our carryovers are lower than 15 priority for that reason. And that's why we prioritize the ones that were October unscheduled. It's 10s. November is 11, December is 12, January is 13s, was for that same reason, is so that we'd hate to see a January order get scheduled before an October that had the same type, because we could put them all at the same number. So that's how they're going to look at those. But we will see new 23 orders. We've already seen it already that have gotten scheduled, because they had nothing on their order.
Yeah.
They didn't have those constraints because, we already talked about it. 45% of the vehicles they pull are not going to have a luxury package on there. So if you have an order without one, you're more likely to jump past somebody. Oh, any update on my private offer? Yeah, you should. I think you actually, Robin, I think you talked to us about your private offer. You said you have an expiration date of January 3rd. So, and I think that was for a private offer that wasn't tied to a carryover. So that's not the transition private offer, but it's one of those ICI private offers. I can't remember what they call it in the system, but that private offer will expire in January 3rd. So, and there's no way to extend it. So, and whether, I don't care what Ford customer support says, it is not the dealership's prerogative whether or not we extend it. It's not it's Ford's incentive program and their department that dictates whether or not something gets that extends. And we're not talking about the transition private offer, for those of you that are wondering. We're talking about when you get one of the special private offers that Ford sends out occasionally every quarter.
People that have previously ordered or bought a Ford vehicle. Lincoln also does them. It's sent out to their previous Lincoln customers. And it's just, if you buy a vehicle during this time to this time, you could get this much off. Yep.
So, and so I think this one is you get $750 off of your. So it's not the transition private offer.
27. It's a
not
good amount
for the Maverick. It's $750 to $2,000. Depends on the model.
Oh, okay.
On the Maverick, it's $750. But again, you have to have these people where their Mavericks are coming in now, and if they had that offer, then they'd be able to use it because it expires January 3rd. That's not an offer that extends. The transition private offer will not expire. It will when they get the next ones. Those the offers for the next quarter set up, then it'll go ahead and extend into April.
Yeah.
So,
are lightnings scheduled on Thursdays as well, or can be any day? I've seen scheduling notifications be received on different days of the week.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. We had some happen on a Monday, so they're not happening on just Thursdays.
Yeah. Can you tell the difference between a 22 and 23 Maverick?
22 to okay, I have a video for that.
Okay.
That's my short answer. Check out the video I did.
If you're thinking about the look of it, the only difference you're going to see is the Tremor and
different packages that you can add to it.
That's the only thing, but there's no difference between the 22 and the 23 look.
Yeah. So interior colors, exterior, some color changes, but in a way of design, nothing different. Usually they usually go 3 years before you see a refresh to a model, and so nothing's changed cosmetically on the vehicle and such. There's some other options that have been tweaked, and I suggest you watch my video if you want to see the differences between them.
Do you think adding a black appearance package to my Maverick Hybrid will make a difference on being scheduled quicker if they're still trying to get them out?
No, I don't think quicker. I don't think it'll necessarily. I really don't know how it will impact it, positive or negative, to be honest. Yeah. But we are seeing them schedule quite a few right now.
Yeah.
So,
when you're in production, can your build date / timeline change significantly by more than a week or two? So in production, your build date isn't What's that
When,
word?
you mean when they're in production?
Yes.
Read that again.
When you're in production, can your
Yep.
build date or timeline change significantly by more than a week or two?
Once your vehicle goes into production, that means it's sent to plant. That date usually won't change.
Yeah.
So you'll have a scheduled build to the week, and then when you get close, they'll actually schedule it to the exact day of that week. And so, like, if we're looking at, this is the week, we're in the week of 12/12. When you get closer, like probably the beginning of December, they said, hey, yours is going to be built on the 14th, on that day.
Yeah.
Usually once they dictate that, it doesn't change. I have seen it change before.
Yeah.
But once you get that in production status, it won't change.
Yeah.
Now it can take, and I think some people think that it moves because, okay, it was supposed to go in production today, or let's say it was yesterday, and I haven't got notification that it's done and been shipped out yet. Well, that's because sometimes it can take several days, and especially if you have the luxury package, it has to be built and then it has to be shipped off to have the spray and vital liner put in. You put the bed stuff in, put the hitch on.
Yeah.
All that stuff is not done in the factory. It's done at the
shop.
the body company, I think is what they call it. It's sent to a different building, so that takes time. It's sent over there, gets put in line, and again, that's why there's a percentage of how many they can do.
We have, Austin, we have not had a black appearance, 23 Bronco Sport. Sorry. My mind was on Maverick. Have we had any 23 Bronco Sport make it to the dealership from the factory yet? Any orders expected to come in soon?
Maybe. The ones that I've been watching is the members, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Is Copilot on the 2023 XL Maverick a constraint item? I didn't order with it, but would like to add. Can you get Copilot on XL?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a 60% capacity, which really isn't too bad. So it's not really, and we've actually seen. I feel that we see more of the XLs get it scheduled with it on there than not because of the features that are included with that. It's where you get your power when you have that added to the XL. You get the power mirrors as well, and on the hybrids you also get the full size spare. So it seems like to me most of the ones that's not a real big constraint. So
yeah. Is there any way of seeing the condition of the batteries of the hybrid Maverick on the dash screen?
again, without being able to drive the hybrids much, I can't.
Yeah.
Hopefully maybe there's somebody on the internet with some videos, but again, all of our hybrids are going straight out. We don't have an opportunity to spend much time in one to be able to say, but I think there's a meter there on the dial on the outside. But.
Yep. We had the 750. Oh, Blanca says we had the 750 offer, but it did not show up on Vincent. Okay.
That's weird.
ML Culpepper says a non-transition offer is tied to the order date, not the delivery of vehicle. Correct. A non-transition offer is.
It would fall within the window of either picking your vehicle up or when you ordered.
Yes.
So if the offer was available in September, and you had that offer and you use September's dates, then you would be able to claim that offer.
To order. Yes.
Yeah,
but then also it would work if you're picking up during that
so if it's
time as
available
well.
when you go to pick yours up at this time of the
but
sale.
if the offer is valid in between those two times and expires, it doesn't work.
Yeah. So
when should I see the transition offer email if my build was recently converted from 22 to 23?
you won't get an email about the offer. So
can you, from William, can you track your vehicle with a Ford Pass when shipped from your dealership?
No. Oh, from the dealership? Okay, so here's how that works. You could. So a lot of times we like to sign that up for you before we send ours out. So when you can get what location it'll show is the last time it was turned off. Yes. So like when it's turned on here at the dealership and they put it on a trailer and they shut it off, they could drive from here to Texas, right? Your location would still show it's here in Salina.
Yeah.
All that time until let's say he has to take that off to get another one back on, and he starts it back up. Then it would initiate that location again. Yeah. So it's where you shut the vehicle off last that it's going to show that location.
So yes
it's not
and
actually,
no.
it's not actually like tracking it and keeping it
Yeah.
and track of that. That's how the locator works for the Ford Pass is, and the locator system is that the last
Which
where it was when you shut the vehicle off.
we found out. So we went to a concert in Kansas City, and you have to block several blocks away because it's Kansas City. There's no parking at the event center because it's downtown. And so we parked in a parking garage a couple blocks away. Well, it was a straight line to the event center, but still, if it wasn't, I pulled up my app and I was like, yep, it's right there. And it showed me the exact location. So if I were to get lost or forget which way I went to get to my vehicle, I have the location. So that was really helpful. Have you got any sneak peeks at the Aviator refresh?
Aviator refresh. No, I haven't.
Let's see. I'm scheduled for 12 from Austin. I'm scheduled for 12/12 on my Bronco Sport OBX, but never received a definitive build date. All I know is production week is this week. Would Ford sales rep know my exact date?
Yes, they can look it up. So if they look in the ordering system, they can actually see if what the exact day is. So usually when you get that email, it says, "Hey, you're going to be built this week." That could change. That could move. We had a couple orders that we were supposed to be built this week, and they all moved to next week. They're not getting built this week, so they could change. And then you're given build dates, and sometimes those dates can move around. So yeah, you can contact your dealer to see when that actual build date is. And you can also call Ford customer support, and they can do that for you. If you have your order number, they can look it up for you too. So if you feel like your salesperson is getting annoyed if you ask them, and then a week later you ask them again, you can always call Ford customer support, and they're always willing to help and give you that information. That's easy information for them to give without messing anything up too much.
Any word on how long chips and supply chain restraints will affect the auto industry?
Well, I don't know.
Isn't Ford building a factory for chips?
I don't know.
I think they're working on a solution.
They were talking about it, but I don't know if they are.
They were trying to find a solution for it. Do you think it will ever be possible to add PAK to a trim that didn't originally include it? From Jim.
I don't think so. Phone is a key is what that stands for. So yeah, phone is a key. I think it has to have like the hardware and stuff there. And so like I know like on the Lariat you have to have a 511A and such, and that is something they're talking about taking that's not going to be available in 23. So that's not cool.
Yeah.
Because I actually like the feature. I haven't actually carried my key fob in a couple of weeks now since I've had it. It's I think it's a cool feature. And not difficult. Some people say make it sound like it's difficult. It's like, oh, you have to have the app open and everything. Well, you don't have to have it open.
No.
You have the app open. I get a little notification. As long as I don't swipe that notification, that phone is the key is connected, then it works. I don't have to have the app open necessarily.
Yeah.
So it's running in the background, I guess.
My build date, this is from Dave. My build date was scheduled for the week of December 5th. It was finished and listed as shipped on the 6th.
Okay.
So they might have started a week before because it was week of December 5th. When was December 5th?
Well, and then what's he saying? He got
Shipped on the 6th.
on the 6th. Well, if you didn't have bed accessories and such stuff like that, I mean,
if it's
they could
just a
have done
base
it.
model, it could be done.
Yep.
From ML Culpepper, if you can't find your car in a parking garage, your Ford Pass will beep the horn and flash the lights. Good to know.
Yep, that's a new one. They added that button to the Ford Pass app.
Jim Duran says, what level of EV dealership did you all choose? Did you go elite?
Yes. It really is not. I mean, there was a small percentage that just went for the basic, but that's like, what, 2 sales a month at the most? And I'm like, if you're going to do it, you just will go all in. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to even be an EV dealer unless you're going to go completely elite. So,
yeah. Paul S. So, you can actually rewind right now to go back to the main topic. But you can add access. So once your order has been scheduled, it is hard to add accessories onto the order, but you can add aftermarket. So once it's delivered, the dealership will have those aftermarket parts for you, at least at our dealership.
I know that I've said that you can try to make amendments to your order once it's scheduled.
But really, it's only the color.
If it's something that you really, really want and you're just hoping that it can get scheduled by not having it on there, and then you can put it on there, don't take it for granted that it can be done.
Yes.
For one, we found some salespeople and some dealerships that won't. They actually will say we can't make changes. It's already been scheduled, and they won't even attempt it. They won't even try it.
Yeah.
Because they are afraid that they're going to mess up that order and it won't get built. So there's some dealers that won't do it at all. So I wouldn't try that as a tactic to try to get your scheduled, like, hey, I'm gonna leave the spray and bed liner off, I'm gonna leave the hitch off, gonna get it scheduled because I have less things on there, and then ask the dealership to add those 2 items, because they could say no.
Yes.
So if you really want them, just put them on your order.
From Chris, do you have any ideas what could be causing shipping delays from Dearborn truck plant? I have a 23701 BAP F-150 that has been waiting for shipping since 11/19.
Okay.
I have a 23 MAV scheduled for January 4th. Any chance I can get the spray added back before it's built?
So was that Chris's that you were reading about the
Yes.
shipping delays? Yeah, there have been some delays. We had a bunch of, I know we've had a bunch of lightnings that have been sent off site completely waiting on microchips. So probably it might be saying waiting for shipping, but I bet you it's probably waiting on a chip. So especially on a 701A black appearance package, we actually got one of those back there. I noticed it earlier. Looks really sharp. Platinum edition with a black appearance package, though it's very hard to get those to even get scheduled. To have yours even get scheduled is awesome. But chips, because the more higher trim level you go, the more chips that are involved there. So I guarantee you it's probably waiting on chips.
And then if you scroll down, Chris had a part 2 to his question.
No. All right. I've been in contact with the dealer and Ford marketing, and the last status update both of them had is from 11/19, and ETAs keeps moving back and back. Yeah, that's going to happen. Again, it's probably a chip hold, because that's what'll happen is you won't have a new update until they actually get the chip put in. That's once they do something, then you get an update. So if it just sits there, then there's not going to be an update. They won't update it unless something happens to it to progress it into the along the assembly line or the process, right? So it's going to sit waiting on a microchip. Once it gets its microchips in, then you'll get an update. But what they'll do is that ETA will probably keep moving, because again, until it's actually released, then it won't have an accurate ETA.
He says, forgot to add that they said it's built and released from plant.
Okay, so built and released, I've still seen it saying built and released, and there'll be a note. If you're talking to your dealership and they're using vehicle visibility, which is what I still use, I know I haven't gotten used to VinView yet, but on the right side, there's a section, a memo section. See if that says microchip hold, because I bet you it does. So it'll actually say released because they have actually built it. They've built everything they can onto it, and if it's just waiting on a chip, they will actually release it from the plant, and it'll go sit in a lot until they get the rest of the microchips, and then they'll go put the microchips in, and then it'll get an update to actually say it's in transit. So being released does not mean it's in transit yet. If it's still sitting in that in production status, it's probably waiting on a microchip.
Yep. From Nathan, he's asking if you can get the spray and bed liner added. His Maverick is scheduled for January 4th. Possibly.
Oh, you mean once it's scheduled to try to add it?
Yes,
Again,
his is scheduled for the January 4th. You can try it, but there's no guarantee it's going to work.
And what I sometimes have seen too is when you try to add it, it could actually kick back one. So we did that on one order, your sister's order.
Yes.
So hers was scheduled for like the week, actually was scheduled for last week originally, and now it's scheduled for like next week. So and it's the end of next week. So because those were put on there, they have to we can't fit that in there. So then your date will get moved back.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can always try. So if it's with us, we can try get with your salesperson and we can try to do that. But there's no guarantee on that. So what you do is you try to submit the change, and then they'll process it, and then they'll say yes or no. So again, for people that are trying that, I mean, we've seen it work on a couple orders, but there's no guarantee. And if you wait, we actually had somebody that wanted to change the color on one.
Yeah.
And watched one of my videos that we could do that after it's been scheduled, but hers has already been sent to the plant, so we couldn't make the change.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just depends on how close it is as well. Because usually they start scheduling up to the day, and once they do that scheduled to the day, that usually means it's too late.
Yep. What it does from David, what's an EV Elite status from Ford?
That means that we're able as a dealership to sell, I think, up to 25 vehicles a month or something like that for, allocations and such. And then we have certain training requirements that are required, certain things in service that we're required to do as well. But if you're not an elite dealer, then you can only sell up to, like, I think it's 20 a year or something like that. I don't know. We saw the ridiculous number, and so we didn't even look there. I mean, elite is the way to go. I mean, and if you're going to be, if you're going to spend the money to put all those, because even as a regular certified dealer, you have to put at least 2 of those DC fast chargers, and it's going to be like, $800,000. If you're going to spend that much, you don't want to be capped at 2 a month or 1 to 2. It's not even 2 a month. It's less than 2 a month for the year. You don't want to be capped there. Why not spend the extra $400,000 and have to put the other? And really, you don't have to put that charger in right away either. I think we're putting all 3 of them in right away. We're just going to go ahead and drop the money down, and we're going to do all 3 now, because the requirement is you have to put the 2 DC fast chargers in by a certain date, and then the other one a year later. But we're just going to do all 3 at once. Yeah. So I mean.
From the 305 hauler, have y'all had any of your Tremor Mavericks get built yet?
Yep.
Yes.
We actually have a Tremor. We have 2 Tremors that are in transit. They're in Arizona right now.
Yeah. Norman Hogue, do you have any idea how long it takes to ship to VA from factory? I do not.
From where to the factory?
VA. Virginia?
Virginia?
I think so.
For the factory. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, most of them are about 4 weeks from once it's released, but on the rail. So
yeah. From Rodrigo, I ordered a Lincoln Corsair GT. Is everything going according to schedule? Any news on Lincolns?
Yeah, we don't get a lot of information on Lincolns. I think on the GTs are your plug-in. So if they say they're not scheduled plug-in hybrids, then yeah, so you're going to see less of the GTs scheduled. They just can't produce as many of the plug-in hybrids as they can the gas versions. So
yeah,
it will take longer for it to get scheduled.
Yep. From Robert Bottenfield, I assume all my restraints will be added at your dealership in aftermarket items. If you have spoken with yourself, well, if we know that it needs to be on your order since you're a member. If you've let Tim or I know what items you want added, then we can keep that put aside for when it's going to come in. We won't be putting that into stone until it gets scheduled.
Yeah. So yes, well, that's why we're kind of just waiting. What I'm doing is every week when Mavericks are scheduled, then I'm sending that list to Niles so he can start reaching out to the people that are scheduled. So that's when he can start talking to them about anything aftermarket that they want, so we can make sure parts are here and that kind of stuff.
So if we aren't reaching out to you about aftermarket, or we aren't confirming things or getting things ordered yet, it's because we're waiting for it to get scheduled. Because we don't want a copious amount of parts and aftermarket things sitting in our parts department waiting for these vehicles to get scheduled.
Our parts department actually won't, without a VIN, they won't let us order them right now. Because we had so many in there and we didn't have enough room. So we couldn't get them.
Love your show. This is from Joe. I ordered a 23 F-150 XLT in August. I was told I couldn't add the onboard scales. Has that changed, and can I add it to my order now?
I think it depends on what trim and such it is, because you can't on the Lightning. It's not included and won't let you, so it's automatically removed. So it depends. There's some of the gas versions that still have it on there.
Yeah.
Just depends on the. But right now that hasn't changed. So they haven't added the capacity, even though they won an award for it.
Yeah. All right. Sorry if this was asked already. My dealer's having difficulty contacting their inventory rep regarding my private offer for my Maverick. Anything I could do to expedite this? My truck is shipped.
Yeah, we actually had a Bronco come in today that the private offer is not showing up. So I did what I tell you guys to do, and that is to reach out, have your dealership reach out to their sales and inventory specialists and let them know we got a private offer not showing up that they should be eligible for. Here's their information and such. Usually if you do that prior to it showing up, then they're fine. They actually told us you just need to make an exception in Smart Vincent for that. And then we're like, yeah, but we need the certificate number. And that's, if you don't have the certificate in there, that's what we need to complete it. So we can't do an exception. So getting it ahead of time is the best case scenario. So trying to have your dealership reach out to your sales and inventory specialist for your region is the best case scenario. Try to reach out to them. If you can't get something done there, if I kind of mentioned earlier how to find that contact list. Also looking for the sales and inventory manager could help too. So I've actually on my list, I actually copied them both on there so that I'd make sure that it's being seen by both eyes. So
Altering Nation says, hi, Tim.
Hello.
And I saw Johnny's car care here in here earlier answering a couple of questions.
I did see him in there.
Cool. Thank you. Regarding the Bronco person you had, what did you end up doing?
Bronco. We're still working on it. So that happened today. So we're still working on that. So we waiting for them to actually email us back. So we emailed back in a group message with our person that handles all of our paperwork. She's the one that said to do an exception, you need the program number and you need the certificate number. Well, I found the program number. And so, because she had said you just need to make an exception in Smart Vincent. And so then she's like, but we need the program number and the certificate number. I said, well, the program number is this. And she says, yeah, but without a certificate number, I don't think we can claim it or request an exception to get it. Yeah. So we're still working on getting that with them. But so keep you posted if we figure that out. Remind me next week and we'll see. Yep. But we should, because it's here and we need to do paperwork. So we need to get that exception on that. So, but that's why I really try to, be looking ahead if you get scheduled. And I think sometimes they like to wait this, they don't like to work on those private offers until they see VIN numbers. I gave them a list of all of ours that they hadn't been scheduled yet. I said, here's my list of people that are missing the private offers. I checked all of the Mavericks. I should have done it for the Bronco and I didn't. Yeah. So I might do the Bronco this week. But I gave that list. I said, here are the 30 that we're missing. And I want to be proactive. And they're like, well, do you have VIN numbers for those? And I'm like, no, they're not scheduled yet. I want to get the offers now so I don't have to try to figure that out when they get here and be too late. And so, they already have so much that they're doing. So it's just like less that they want to do. So if you get scheduled, you definitely want to be making sure you have your private offer. And if you don't, having them reach out to the sales and inventory specialist and say, what do we do since the private offer is not showing up? So anyway.
All right. David Card asked, is the Bronco a speeding ticket magnet? I would not know.
Speeding ticket magnet?
I have not. I've driven the Bronco once.
2.7 maybe. The 2.7. I have the 2.3 and I don't feel that
It might depend on where you live and if there's a bunch of Broncos running around. We have a bunch of them here.
Yeah.
James Chapman asked, is it true Mavericks are also going to be built at another factory? Okay, what was it again? I was reading another comment. Is it true Mavericks are also going to be built at another factory?
No, I don't think so. I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
This rumors.
Yeah. I think we're caught up.
Good thing I don't throw that stuff out there and go, oh, here's what's going to happen. We're going to do this.
They will need a dedicated Maverick factory. Maverick factory at this rate.
Yeah, they kind of do. But no, I don't think so. Usually not, especially not in the middle of a model year. Yeah. So that usually won't happen. But so.
Any more questions? We're actually caught up. It helped out this week that
to do some in between.
It kept me caught up.
Yeah. So mentioned I seen alternation in there, and of course he said hi. But when I was on their live stream last night, he was talking about that. He says, "I don't know how you keep up on all the comments, and it's difficult sometimes, but we try to help everybody out if we can." Yeah. So, yep.
If I want to go fast in a V6 Bronco.
I haven't driven a 2.7 to see what it drives like. I just have the 2.3, but yeah.
Blasphemy! Tim is drinking a Gatorade.
I'm still getting over the sickness.
He's still getting over it. You shouldn't drink.
I'm still getting over the sickness here today.
Shouldn't drink an energy drink when you're not feeling well. It's not going to do well for your body.
I didn't think so. I didn't take any meds today though.
A Gatorade is better. It still has sugar, but it's better.
I was looking for orange juice back there, vitamin C, but
there's orange juice.
I didn't see any.
It's in with the food. Ricky Moran. Hi, last week a question asked adding retractable running boards to the 2023 Lightning. Will the wiring be there to add later, or can they be added?
Should be able to add them. I mean, we've added power boards to other F-150s before, so the wiring may not be there, but they should be able to hook up the wiring, and you should be able to do some aftermarket ones if you want.
Yeah.
I like the boards that are on mine because they actually have LED lights on them as part of the zone lighting, and so without them, you have less lighting for the zone lighting if you don't do that. So, so. You have the lights there, so the power's there probably. So anyway, so
yeah. Did you see Chris Overton's?
So I just got of a conversation with the sales manager at the dealer, and he sent me a screenshot of the VVR. That's vehicle visibility report, and it shows no types of hold. Was built 11/18, released from plant 11/19.
That would be a.
It's really weird that it would say release but not say it's at a ramp or something.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it say released, we have Vicky's that's that way, where it was released, it says awaiting shipment, and then it said released, and then it said that it was at ramp 54 there in Mexico. So it'd be really weird that it's been released and not actually say it's sitting at a ramp. Which is weird, but it's probably waiting to get put. It's probably waiting
to go to a ramp
to get there
or get put on a rail car.
Yeah, I just hope it's not in the same situation as like Vicky's is, where it's been saying the same thing for
and you were in that situation. It's said the same thing for months.
Yep.
Robert Botfield, will an electric tailgate be available on my Maverick?
Electric tailgate?
No.
You mean to power it down
and up? No. There's the tailgate assist, which lowers it at a slower rate, and so it doesn't slam.
I think you'll be surprised on how light that tailgate is.
It's so light. My husband was like, we need a tailgate assist for both of our Mavericks. And I'm like, no, we don't. He's like, but then it doesn't slam. And I'm like, it doesn't slam already unless I just let go of it.
It comes down, its gravity comes down, and it's so light.
Sometimes I'm moving at such a fast rate to try and get things moved with kids. I just open it and let go, and he's just like, you can't do that. I'm like, okay.
Cables aren't that expensive.
I'm over here like,
you break one.
The
tailgate assist will hydraulic, it'll let it go down slower.
The tailgate assist, it will let it go down slower, but you're also removing the part that makes it a flex tailgate.
Yeah, because you have to remove the bottle openers, right?
Yes.
That's what I call them. They're bottle openers. Are they really tie down? They are tie downs.
They're tie downs, but you're losing parts of that flex tailgate that
because they will actually hit. So if you want to have that tailgate assist put on, I think you have to take that off.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Tell Tim to drive a 2.7. We need his analysis. Maybe.
We might have used one now.
We might. We have a bunch out there. We might have one. John Smith says, that was my problem. The inventory manager tells my dealer no certificate number, so I got no PO for my 22 rollover hybrid order. So you got no private offer.
Yeah, I actually sent an email to the brand manager. It was Monday. I was at home.
Yeah.
That I just said, here's some of the things that I'm seeing. How do I respond to these customers that said that their dealership doesn't know who their inventory specialist is, or that their dealership's not willing to say, oh, you don't have a private offer, there's no way to get it,
Yeah.
and you're not getting one. I mean, the thing of it is there's a lot that aren't matched up, and Ford's not communicating that, hey, communicate back to us. So
Yeah.
there's still a disconnect there from Ford, and I wish I
Yeah.
could have answers. I wish I could do it for you.
Yep.
But
Yep.
and I wish dealerships were willing to take the effort to do that.
Yeah.
To try to get that for them, because that's especially on like the Bronco we were looking at today. It was like $3,200. Because they had an order put in January of 01. So
Yep.
they have they've been waiting a long time.
A Del Real says does Ford currently have currently have a black appearance package XLT 2.0 with no accessories on order. More likely to get it faster if I switch to XL. Well, can you get the black appearance package on XL?
Well, you said you have an XLT, so if you switch to XL, you just automatically changed your order date to today's date.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
I wouldn't.
That just
leave it.
that just moved you back to the back of the line for all
Yeah.
the other XLs. So
Yeah. And then you just have a
would be
base model vehicle
So,
that's just probably not what
mean-
you want.
yeah. Robert said something about, I thought one of my restraints was electric tailgate. There's electric tailgate's not even an option
No.
on the Maverick.
Nope.
So yeah. You don't have necessarily, we talked about constraints in the sense of that here are some things that would slow it down from being produced or getting scheduled, right?
Yeah.
And right now, Robert is actually one of the people that has a new order in with us.
Yes.
So all those people have a new order. If they have something that has similar to what the rollover 22 orders have, you're waiting behind them.
Yeah.
So you got to get those 22 orders scheduled before you even think about yours is going to be looked at. So unless you have an order where you don't have the luxury packages on there, then you might be thinking and be looking and see if you get an email, because otherwise, if you have a luxury package on yours on an XLT or a Lariat and it's a hybrid as well, you just sit back for a couple months, because it's probably going to be a couple months.
Yep. Is there any way that Tim might end the show sooner than usual because he doesn't feel well?
I was thinking about it, actually.
Yeah.
Blanca gave us a
Thank
donation. Thank you, Blanca. Appreciate it. You're so kind.
Zoom Jr., I have not found a good fitting seat cover for my Maverick, but the ones from Ford might do well. I thought one of my streets, we got that one. Oh, Clarence Roller says you bend the bottle opener when you put the tailgate assist on and then put it back on. I did. Well, I don't want to bend it. I'm just not going to put it on.
Okay.
And then someone says they hope I don't break my tailgate.
That's just, well, actually, it's more than the cable, because if the cable were to snap, then
It
it
has-
would hit the bumper and then it would bend it.
It has a second cable. Are both going to break at the same exact time? Tim finally got my Maverick last week from my dealer. I'm loving it. Thank you for all your advice. From Charles Rizzo, who's
right,
been a
what
member
about-
for 9 months.
All right. Wow.
I could have bought one off the floor, except it was school bus yellow. It has a little bit more orange than school bus yellow, in my opinion.
I don't know. They actually, I saw an image with a Bronco right next to a school bus, and it was spot on. Cyber orange. Cyber orange is school bus
In
yellow.
pictures, you can change colors. Did you know that? You can change
Hey,
colors in pictures.
maybe it was photoshopped. I don't know.
Because, okay, Cyber Orange is a little bit more orange, and it has the sparkle metallic look.
Yeah, it does have a nice sparkle.
A school bus is just matte yellow.
Yeah. Points. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I was gonna upload the picture of that. So we got an Azure Gray
Oh, we did.
Bronco in today. 23
oh,
Bronco.
Is that the one I saw out there? That was
It's by the picture building.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my word, it is so gorgeous.
It is a little lighter than
It
Area
is
51.
Gorgeous. I was like, that's
it
not
does.
Area 51. What is
But
that?
yeah, so it's a lighter. It's supposed to be a tri-coat though, whereas Area 51 is not. So it's a richer color, but it is lighter than Area 51.
Yeah.
So a little bit on the lighter tone. So
Yeah.
but I'll I have I did take a picture of it, as well as we got a Mach E for Larry Subi.
Yes.
One of our members, his Mach E
Yes.
came in yesterday. I wasn't here, but I saw it plugged in earlier today, and he got that new color Vapor Blue, and that looks gorgeous.
Is he coming back in the morning?
Yeah, he's coming back tomorrow to pick
Okay.
it up. And it's the Select, so it has the black roof with
Yeah.
that color. It just looks awesome. So I got images of that on my phone. I forgot to upload, but
I'll remind you
so
next week.
this cold is just, I keep forgetting things just because I was just like, actually wasn't getting as much done today as fast as I wanted to. But
no, I saw that Bronco out there, and I was like, "What?
Yeah.
That's not Area 51," but at the same time, it's close. So, don't know.
thank you, Robert. Appreciate the donation.
Well, McArthur, beating the dead horse here, so forgive me. The PO in the event the vehicle, or the private offer in the event the vehicle arrives prior to hearing back from my Ford rep, Ford would correct it after the sale and issue a refund. Is
Well,
that control? Is that
Yeah, well, that's what they were telling us to do, is file an exception. And I don't know if on that means that we were supposed to just discount the vehicle and then we would be reimbursed, or if the customer would be reimbursed. I don't know that process on doing an exception and what that. I could find out,
Yeah,
because
I had an email on
I
that.
know who's in charge of that here at the dealership, and I can ask her how that works. But
Yeah, I had an email with a similar question today. If they've already gone through with the sale and the dealer did not uphold the private offer, can they get a refund from Ford?
usually has to be done at the time of the paperwork.
Okay.
So if the dealership doesn't do it and they say, nope, you don't have it, and then then you watch our videos and say, well, they should have made an exception, and you go back, it's probably going to
Yeah.
be too late.
Yep. So,
Unless they reverse the deal and redo the paperwork for you. But
which
no,
most dealers
most
aren't going to do
dealerships.
that.
And right now, a lot of times you e-contract things, so it's done that day.
I can tell you, my father-in-law is a financier, and when we bought my Maverick, he had to redo the paperwork because of one mistake, and he's like, oh. He just looked defeated because he had to redo everything. And it's a lot of paperwork, and if
All right. Well, it is getting close to 9.
it is. And we haven't gotten any more questions in a minute.
Yep.
So
All right.
I think it's time to say goodnight.
Anything else to talk about?
We're under 300 viewers.
Nothing else I can think of.
Robert Bottenfield, you can rewind on this or watch the replay. We did answer that earlier.
Yeah, we answered you. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, private offer is if it's available. Basically, if it shows in Smart Vincent for you, since it's in there now, again, yours not even scheduled yet. So your that private offer that you were talking about earlier is expires January 3rd. So,
Yep.
all right, Ricky, there, donation, 2023. Oh. Kind of funny. All right. Thanks for answering all of my questions for my 2023 over the past few weeks, even though I am in Georgia. No problem. My blend date is 10/25. I got email that it was built on 12/9, waiting for shipment. Does that mean it is off ship hold? I would assume so. If it's setting waiting shipment, then it should be. So, yeah.
Yep.
Usually waiting shipment means you're just, at that point, it's Ford's done with it and it's waiting to get on a rail
Yeah.
and such. So, just like Vicky's.
Yep.
Just hopefully yours isn't sitting as long as hers.
Yep. All right.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So,
Hit that like button before you leave.
Don't forget that. Don't
Yes.
Looking over here.
Like
Don't
button.
forget that the like button. Anything else?
I think so.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and the notification bell if you're new. If you want to become a member, don't forget you can do that as well. We love our members, and we like to do some cool, fun videos. Our lot walk and such. So I think you'll enjoy some of that videos. If you want to get some insider information and such like that, and want to get a little more content from us, then become a member. So we really appreciate it.
And I pop up in those videos a lot more often.
Yep, and we're going to start doing a member live stream for those that have orders with us too.
Yes.
So, anyway, all right. Well, thank you very much. Do you have anything else? No. All right. Well, folks, don't forget, stay positive, be healthy, stay healthy. Take your vitamin C and your zinc. Stay healthy in this winter months, and don't forget to be kind to each other, especially not only this season but every day.
Stay positive.
And
be kind
and
to each other and be kind to yourself.
Kind to yourself. We'll see you guys
Here's
later.
forgetting it.